everybody. Victoria's on. You on, Victoria?
Free ticket.
All right, here we go. We're in the middle of
back
SEMA.
in.
Shotgun middle. We got Jason from Keep It Read.
All right, we got to talk fast. All right.
Forsberg.
He's from some island in the ocean. He drifts cars. Got a big motor. All right, well, let's go. We can see you later.
All right, thanks for having me. Oh, gotta go. All right, literally though, in the middle of SEMA, we're all driving, giving rides.
Busy, yeah, and it's we're literally between sessions. You just came out of the car. You're interrupting our last video.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Came in whacking the limiter.
My bad.
Yeah,
Dude, we got
good.
Jason from Keep It Read, man.
Yeah, Jason Ferron, Keep It Read. So how long have you been drifting? I don't even know this.
15 years.
Yeah,
15?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So you know a thing or two about it.
But this year you're doing like a super heavy USA tour.
Yeah, pretty insane program. I didn't really consider when I first started it.
Yeah, we met the first time here last year. You were out here at SEMA.
Yep,
we
yep,
ended up at the Tiki Bar.
Tiki Bar with
Yeah,
Jared.
with Jared.
Oh,
and this guy. And
that's the spot.
And you're like, Keep It Read's here. I'm like, who's that?
Oh yeah, dude.
I know. I totally blew it.
I first
'Cause,
ran into you at the World Tour, and we had a blast in Ireland. That's like I think when we connected, you know.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Sick.
It's kind of cool. Like, it's a big thing. Like, meeting the people with similar values and like-minded, honestly.
Yeah.
And then we just end up meeting everywhere, like
Yeah.
meeting at the
End
like different
up in the
places,
same
different
places.
drift event.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
I know,
all.
like last week we're out here doing burnouts at the Speedway.
But hey,
You're going out there? Yep. See you there.
give the viewers like a background on yourself, right? Like obviously Keep It Read. What is it? And then why are you here in America? And how is it going back at home, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a pretty wild story, I guess. Like, obviously drifting 15 years, about 10 years ago, I kind of like worked my way up in the ranks in Australia. It's definitely a different game. I started with a like really low power car. I actually started in an R31, so Skyline. No one knows the car. It's a Nissan Skyline, Australian car. And worked my way up the ranks and kind of went to Japan. Really loved that. Got involved with a lot of the local communities and the clubs and worked my way up into competition. And there was just lots of little things that I really liked about it, but they would do little things or they'd keep changing it. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't like the direction, but I also wanted to just help the sport. So eventually, I actually worked my way up I was a cabinet maker. I installed kitchens at the same time.
Yo, I need some new cabinets in my spot. I'll tell you that.
No.
Maybe give me 2 drawers.
Maybe. No, I haven't touched
At least
it.
a utensil one.
Haven't touched the
blown
tools.
out.
Haven't touched the tools in a while. But yeah, I basically worked that up at the same time, and now all my pay was going into drifting. I'm sure you guys relate to that in the early years. And eventually, I kind of worked up the ranks in that, and I started a business installing in commercial buildings, and I started Keep It Read at the same time. And the first event was just getting my friends on track, just a private day, just chill vibes. I brought the Japan vibe of no sessions, just go out and thrash, and like no egos. No egos was the biggest point as well, because I saw all the cliquey groups, and I was like, no ego. We're all here to have fun. Pro, first time, just come and like share your information. Tell them how to fix your car, whatever it is. Just go out, have fun.
but in Australia, you host events, and then Keep It Read also does a lot of giveaways. I remember when I met you, all the boys on the World Tour were like, dude, he does a car giveaway a week.
Wait, what?
A week?
Funny. So I hate the giveaway side of it, like at this point. But it's funny because it's always the thing
that's
that
the work,
everyone,
right?
it's the one that everyone like knows me for some degree, because I kind of scaled that through COVID. It was like the get out of COVID thing. Like the business was about 1 year old when COVID started, and we were really like scaling it up. And I put down the tools. I got rid of the install business as soon as Keep It Read started doing well with the public events. So everyone just loved them. Went to public events, and they were having like 2,000 people, and it was kicking off. So I had a factory, had my first kid and a house, and I was like all in. And then COVID hit, and I was like, I'm not touching a tool. I got a following. There's one other guy doing giveaways. I built a car for the first few episodes of YouTube, so I was like, let's give that away. And it was an R34 sedan. Owed me like $5,000. And it worked well. Like it paid off, gave me some money, and I just kind of reinvested in cars. And I think by the time we got out of COVID, I think we're giving away like R32 GTRs. So I just learned a lot about marketing.
You can give one this way. It's no problem.
Yeah, definitely. So, I kind of worked it up, and then as soon as events came back, we were like all in. I had a team of probably 5 after COVID, had a few, like you call them workshops, and I was just trying to do as much as I can for the community. That's always been the focus. So the giveaways always stayed like JDM cars, like, you know, win a car, like your dream car, someone that wouldn't be able to afford it, like $30, and
So you guys do it with like purchases for your merch or just the car itself?
We work through digital products.
Yep.
Found like a little loophole in Australia.
I feel like it's a little easier in Australia. Yeah, the
They
giveaways
definitely-
in the States are dicey.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see them as often now.
Yeah.
They were like heavy 5 years ago. Remember, like all these different people were doing giveaways. Now there's only a few people that are doing it now because they got. Yeah.
It's definitely a wild
It's
game.
difficult.
And you have to capture your niche. There's so many people doing it now. So it's definitely a hard game for us now. The economy is dying, or was dying the last year. We've noticed it's been very up and down. But yeah, we've been spending some pretty crazy money on marketing and giving away now like R34 GTRs with like 700 horsepower, 32 GTRs with 1500 horsepower, like some pretty wild cars just to like try and capture that different audience and stick to JDM. But.
So the boys are back in Australia, still operating Keep It REIT, and then you thought to yourself, I'm gonna go to America.
Yeah, it's always been a goal the last few years. So that car, the wagon, R31 wagon, I'm drifting now, is we built that from bare shell up to compete at a higher level. I was like, all right, it's time. Like the business has got to this point. I want to start traveling Australia and do some of the national competition, like properly.
Yeah.
So I built that car. First year we built it, that was just coming out of COVID. And yeah, ended up getting second in the national championship the first year. So I was like, where do I go now?
Yeah.
So sent it to New Zealand, the D1NZ. Started having like second year car problems. So like everything's starting to like freak out, alternator power steering, like just annoying things, clutches. And so I had an interesting season, but still managed, I think, top 8, which was cool. Had a few, like 4th, 5th, like kind of near the top, so it was cool. Testing year. That's where I learned a lot about coming into a series, not knowing how they judge. Brand new tracks with minimum track time. A lot about that. So it was testing, but it was cool to learn.
Got you.
And also not having my team at hand.
Yeah.
And that led
What kind
to
of crew did you bring? Like how many people?
one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough stuff.
One person, just at the bare minimum, but I
Yeah.
backed off a team. So Team Jenkins Motorsport,
Oh, cool,
Ben
cool.
Jenkins, they would hold my car in their workshop, so I could work on it in between, and just had a basic toolkit. But if I needed anything specialty, they had it on there. So I just kind of back off their crew.
Yeah.
So massive thanks to them for that year for sure.
I see, yeah. So you were like, I'm over here, and now America. But this year's been gnarly, dude. Like, tell us about like how much shit
been
you've done
everywhere.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a full-on year. The plan was.
We are in the middle of SEMA.
Yeah.
And it's loud.
I don't know if you can
I
hear
don't know
that.
if
It's
you-
like
Tires.
cranking the bass right now.
Yeah,
The whole-
with the SEMA truck gang,
the
but
earth's
it's on.
shaking.
Yeah, you can see the window shaking on this trailer.
So I feel like for this year, I have to go back to a bit more about the team. So to this point, we built up. So we ran the LZ World Tour Australia, and we had about 15 people at that point, and we just moved to our new workspace. So two factories, we call them, with the office area and everything. So we just did that and ran that event. And at the same time, I was like, I want to go to America. So I kind of planned that year of testing the team out, me being away for New Zealand, and then away for like Japan and LZ World Tour. Like that's where we met in Ireland. And it was like a big test to see if I could like hand off things and let them take the reins to some degree. Be more in front of the camera for the YouTube, like running the workshop builds, all that stuff. I tried to pass on as much as I could.
So how many people do you have at Keep It right now?
So now there's 11.
11.
Yeah.
And what is your role? You're founder, president, owner.
Just the vision maker and the ideas man. They throw all my stupid ideas onto the team and they make it happen. So I basically did every role in the business. I made the website, I ran the events, I built the social media up, I learned the start of the marketing.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're the guy.
I'm the guy, and I just passed it on. So I
Yes,
found
of
passionate
course.
people, and I pulled them out of their shitty jobs, and said, I can see you love this, and you want to like make something of this. So I might not be able to pay you what you're getting paid at your job, but there's something in this. As soon as we can,
there's more
pay
passion.
you,
Like you
you're
said.
going to want to
passion.
be there. You're going to enjoy it. So I just
There's plenty of other jobs we could do to make more money. But this is what we want to do.
I feel like I was really good at seeing that in people.
Yeah.
So I pulled them in, and they absolutely loved it, and they treated it as their own. It was like the biggest point of probably why I keep it readers, like being over the last 6 years now, being quite progressively growing larger and larger.
And that's hard as a business owner to step out of the operator role. Like when you're operating the
like with
business.
you and your business.
I'm still struggling. Like I'm on Slack every day. I'm answering all the emails. I'm still like, I haven't handed it off to anybody yet, but I assume like, obviously it's going really well, and doing that must feel so cool because you're like, this does operate without me now.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a good feeling.
Definitely.
Like I still get like kind of anxious, like if I'm not in a shop for
Yeah.
like more than a day, right? He's like, I gotta get over there. I gotta see what's going on. We gotta we got these builds
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
And like, I know the boys are doing a fantastic job, but it's like you said, you just can't get that out of you. You
Yeah.
still want to be a part of everything.
Yeah.
I guess that's why, I try not to treat it as like my business. It's like theirs as much as is mine. It's
Yeah.
not about the money. It's about growing something like bigger than myself. I guess that's why it's probably been easy. Not easy, but it's made it easier to they can take their section of the business. You can take it like as big as you want it. Take
Yes.
it basically is the idea.
Yes.
So
Same.
so just pass down the line. Now you take what I've taught you and do that with the people under you.
Yeah.
So that's been like the biggest thing. And so I've got a manager. I just work now directly with him.
Cool.
And if I need to, I'll speak to one-on-one if there's some issues or if there's something I need to get done, or because we've got obviously the events now, the giveaways,
Yeah.
merchandise, and
But dude, that's
yeah.
So
inspiring.
the events are still going on?
Yeah, so
Nice.
26 events a year we did this year. So I've
Okay, they're very much going on.
But that's inspiring because I don't
Yeah.
really know any other drifter in America that's doing that. You know, like meaning like some guys will have arrive and drives and they fly in and they kind of race or whatever, drift. But you're like all in, handing over the keys to the business, move to America.
Yeah.
You're living in Southern California now, right?
Yeah.
And you're everywhere.
Whole year of touring. Should have mentioned the 3 kids and the wife, Danny.
Yeah. No, full house.
Yeah, so it's been wild on the road. We just picked up all the cool events, like the exhibition events, like Drift Appalachia, Grid Lives, all the fun stuff. Trying to get the name out is the
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been interesting.
No, I mean, it
Sick.
certainly has made an impact. I mean, like, that purple wagon has been all over the States, which is like really, really rad. Like you were saying, just doing all the cool events. And it's kind of like what we're even talking with Tanner about. It's like a little less of the competition, a little more of the content side of things. But you are, speaking of, doing some competition next year.
That's it.
Yeah.
So one of the goals as well was, I love competition.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know the steps I need to take and how I want to approach it to do it properly. So, yeah, big goal. I petitioned for Formula Drift for Prospect.
Yeah.
And only last week, just last week, I got the email back. That was a nerve-wracking email to open. It's congratulations.
Like getting the college letter.
It's like a petition answer below, and there's all these legal documents, and then there's the letterhead Formula Drift. And Jason Ferron, email, whatever. It's
I'm in trouble.
The decision for your, and and seeing that little approved, I was like, we're on, let's go.
Sick.
Let's go.
So Prospect next year.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
Sick.
Awesome.
Got some work to do to the car, I bet.
Nah.
No?
Yeah, a few
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
It's been really good this year. I mean, I've definitely had some issues. I broke a crank as one of the main issues, but it's apart from that, everything else is held really strong. So I'm more than comfy to do 4 rounds. But
Well, Ray, what's the quick breakdown on the car going to Prospect? Like engine, car, what are you
Dude.
bringing?
the Nissan R31 Skyline station wagon with a Ford Barra.
Yeah.
It's a 4-litre straight 6. They call
Big.
it the Aussie 2J. I call it the 2J with NOS now. Now that I've experienced some 2Js, it's the torque of that thing is insane.
Oh, man,
and it
tough.
still revs to 8. So
Sick.
that's what I'm bringing.
Wild.
It's a solid axle rear end. So a lot of people don't know that. But it just has really good weight balance.
Yeah.
And it just has really good forward drive, and it gets it.
Is there anything that you have to do legally to drive Prospect? Like you have to upgrade some things?
A little change to the roll cage, because I don't do the cages to the tower. I'm still going to find out about ECU, so Haltech sponsors the car, and I think there's discussions whether I have to change to Link or not, depending what Link's doing with Prospect, because there's a spec class.
Yep.
Then tyres as well, so we're all got to go on GT radial 255s. The subframe, I've got an aftermarket custom front subframe, so it has to run stock, so I've got to change back to a stock one. It's all stock pickup, but I'll just have to modify it, rack board, just little things like that.
Yeah.
Oil coolers inside, lots of little weird rules.
Little tweaks. Little tweaks.
That's what I was saying. When I was like, yeah, you got some work to do. because I remember, Jason's been bringing the rig by the shop, and we've been doing some of the work over there, which is rad. So just trying to help him
Appreciate
out.
that.
Yeah, man, no problem, dude. Yeah, because and trying to get yourself settled in. Cars need work. You can't just keep stuffing them back in the trailer. So it's cool to see that. So Formula Drift came by, they inspected the car, and kind of pointing out those things.
Dang, dude, so I got a spot for 2 people now.
Let's go.
Gonna be busy up there.
Right. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that would be rad.
So what's rounding out your year, right? Like obviously we're at SEMA, you get to breathe for a minute and now go prep the car for FD, or you got more stuff coming
I don't know
up?
if I'd call it breathing, but
Yeah, now you gotta get to work again.
Yeah.
so we're doing the demos. I'm trying to lock in a few sponsors, new and old, for a more financial program next year. Trying to see what I can do for them. And yeah, I want to calm down the traveling, so we're going to base out of one spot for next year. But yeah, for the rest of the year, we just got PRI. We're going to Japan next week. That's like a big give back for the team. You're coming. He's coming.
Oh no, I
Maybe.
bailed.
Oh, you
I know,
bailed.
I bailed.
This guy.
I know, I was.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah, heard he bailed. He
This
told
just
me he
in.
was coming. I was all excited.
I know.
I know.
We were talking about last night. Yeah,
Yeah.
TJ's out too.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, it's like just busy, because from here, we're going to be going from here, Vegas for the week. Next week, I got to be in Dallas for 4 days. And I was going to fly straight to Japan from Dallas and only be there for like 2 days.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of going to miss the whole week, you know?
Yeah, fair.
So
Too much stress.
It was
I
a lot
understand.
to pile in just for like the day and a half of driving. And then I'd be getting back on Monday. And I got family coming into town Wednesday for the wedding. So it's
Sounds like it's going to be a stressful one.
it would have been, yeah. So just doing the Dallas, going home. But now we might strap on a day and go hang out and do some rush racing on
Hell yeah,
Thursday.
yeah.
Nice.
But hey, dude, and all of your like USA experience this year, has there been a single track or a moment that you're like stoked on? Like what have you driven this year where you're like, what? Like,
There's been a few like amazing experiences, whether it's like the grid life or the Drift Appalachia, but when it comes to exact tracks, I definitely have to say Laguna Seca.
yeah.
was awesome.
For the not the corkscrew, I reckon after the corkscrew, like
Same.
being foot flat, you know,
Same.
all the way down
Dude,
there.
the left.
Dude,
Oh, God.
I forget the
Something
name
about
of
that.
it. Everyone was talking about
Yeah.
the corkscrew, and I'm like, dude, the turn after that?
No.
Yeah.
Way gnarlier, dude.
Yeah, come down, just punch up, and just.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that thing is crazy.
So that one, and then I definitely have to say.
What up, Tommy?
Oh. Oh, good.
Got some boys in the back coming
Yeah.
in.
Just
Yeah,
had to
dude.
walk through.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's
And
cool.
Drift Appalachia,
Yeah.
like amazing experience.
Yeah.
Like,
I've never been to a Drift Appalachia yet, but I've heard it's
Yeah,
like
same.
the pinnacle of the like street
American
core-
tailgate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
American tailgate, like lifestyle.
it's not even that. It's also just the people that are running it and the way they're doing it. I feel like it's very similar to Keep a Reap, but also they've got in mind they want this to be a lasting thing. This is their first year doing it, from what I recall. And so they're just like, you've got to do these things. It's really strict, but at the same time, like, let's have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, they're only inviting drivers with the right vibe, like that are going to respect the mountain.
Yep. Yep.
But I can see that being a huge
No,
thing.
and that's almost like more. I shouldn't say this, but that's like a very creditable invite. Like you don't get invited to that unless you're gonna drive well, be a safe driver, because that's a gnarly like you're.
It could go real bad, real fast.
Yeah.
And there's been some accidents, and
Yes.
there's because it's actually that dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, and they still have like some of the best of the best
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
And they're
But it's
still
like-
running into a little situation.
Yeah, but it's like street cred, you know. It's
Yeah.
like getting accepted to Pro Spec is really rad, but also being invited to some real
Drift
core.
Appalachia, yeah.
No, definitely. There's only so many people that you can invite to the mountains. I feel like it's probably almost harder to get onto that one, especially
Yeah.
coming in from Australia. The hell's just after
I know
anyone
about
was
that.
wagon, like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Talks funny. He's got a weird car.
I don't trust him. Something about him. I don't trust him.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
that's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, I really want to get out to an Appalachia. I just haven't had, the time, a car out there to do it with. I was gonna try and do it in the 240, but it ended up being out here. Jackson's been ripping that thing around, so.
Yeah.
But,
Next year we'll get out there for sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll put in a good
basically-
word for you.
Yeah. See if you can make a call for me. I think they only really do East Coast, right? They don't really go beyond
So
like,
far
Tennessee
they
and
have.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're working on it, but
But there's a lot of like elevation over that way,
No, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Drift Appalachia.
Of course.
The Appalachian
Yeah.
Mountains.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
one road, isn't it?
So,
I don't
yeah.
know. Like it's like one road that like goes almost all the way up the thing. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, no, those guys are really cool. Like, I used to do events with those guys like way back in the day. Like, they used to do like, some of the guys there like US Drift, Hyperfest they still work with. So a lot of those like East Coast based drift events, competitions, demos, things like that. But yeah, very very cool guys. Egger.
Yeah. Damn right, dude. Damn
Oh, yeah.
right.
Yeah,
I think that's what they've come in like knowing how to run an event already.
Yeah.
And they know the ins and outs, and that's why I think they respect, and they know this is the only way we can do it. We can't just have like anyone come down. But yeah, no, they're putting on a good show, good event.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we're obviously drifting at SEMA, the Optima stuff. They're calling us to go
I know.
drift.
They're like,
I know.
stop sitting around.
Yeah.
Dance, monkey.
Yeah. But it's cool, man. It's been a busy SEMA for us, huh? Feeling good about it?
Definitely, it's been cool. I haven't had a chance too much to get away from this area, but I've had a lot of sponsors come over, jump in for rides, and I reckon tomorrow, next few days.
I've done it before where I just, you bring a car and you put it at a booth and you drink and you talk and you drink and you talk. But being able to drive out here is
so
awesome.
rad.
I feel like there's a purpose.
It's so nice to, like, when you run into someone, it's like, come get a ride.
I know.
How often do you get to do that?
And I feel like we're most comfortable at a racetrack, and I feel like we're at a racetrack.
Yeah.
But we're at SEMA. You know what I mean?
I know. We got a couple trucks, trying to blow our ears out.
Well, cool. I guess let's go burn some tires.
I know.
Yeah,
we gotta get going. We're gonna be late again.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Hey, tell the
Appreciate
people where to
it.
find you. Tell the people where to find you.
Follow us on my personal is Jason Ferron Drift on my Instagram, and pretty much keep it read, at keep it read, anything, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, blah, blah, blah.
Go get yourself a Skyline.
Link in the description.
Get around it.
All right, cheers.
All right, yeah, see you.
Link in bio.
Hell yeah, bud.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, cool.